Okay, you can see that I've started painting some paper. The house body for Katieland is going to be yellow, and the roof is going to be red. But you can see I've got a couple of, these are some slightly different variations. This, and you can see, this is a complete section of an advert. And I painted the whole thing in one shade of yellow. This has white underneath it, but a thinned out white than the yellow on top. Why did I do that? Because some of these darker areas will pop through the yellow because the yellow isn't incredibly pigmented. So I have two of those because I wanted, you know me, I like to have options. I'm going to move this one over here. I made two of this one, which has more of, I added some shades of like a pale yellow orange into it. And you can see by looking at this one, this half is much more opaque than this side. Let me get this around. I didn't think that was going to show up very well. Sorry, didn't have the light on there. And that's because I mixed up a little bit heavier white paint. So you can see on this one, it's much more pigmented. And this is only one coat with the yellow and the yellow orange. Now, your question probably is, why paint on these really big pieces of paper when I have been painting on like a quarter sheet of these in the past? Part of that is because I want to cover the whole back and I want to cover the sides, and I want there to be the color, especially when I'm mixing colors in, I want it to have the exact same color. I don't want it to be in the family. I want it to be the exact same color. So these two I am considering done. Because as you know, there's going to be more that's going to be going on those. And for right now, I've just been rolling them to get them out of the way. They're so big. The red, on the other hand, the red is just for the roof pieces. And you can see I've done two different ones. This one has some bits of burgundy in it that I kind of like. But since I already have, this is another very large piece, I really don't need to add any more to it. I can just leave this as is and go. And each of the pieces for the roof, like this is one of the roof pieces. I put this up a little further. You can see I've got more than enough to do. Wow, I really can't see. I have more than enough to do both pieces of the roof. And I'm also including in this, I want to put, I'm going to be making, since the house is going to be yellow, the shutters are going to be this shade too. So I think I'm going to work back into 3 of these pieces of paper. Not these two, ones with the burgundy. I didn't add as much burgundy to this one. So I want to work into this one a little bit more and maybe make it into something a little bit more interesting. And then I'm going to work back into the 2 yellows here and see if I can tone down some of this stuff right here. And it's been so humid and so damp here. I had to let these dry overnight because when I'm working on newsprint like this, it starts to get wet and then it just starts kind of collapsing. So, because it's not meant to hold together for very long. So I'm putting all of this, paint on it and the acrylic. It gives it a different texture and makes it a little bit heftier, and it'll take the paint a little better. I'm not saying that I can just sop a whole bunch of water on top of it and be fine. Even if, as I'm working with the brush, let's see, which brush am I working with? I'm working with, here it is. This is right now my favorite brush to work with for this. And you can see it's an absolute mess. It's all broken on the one side. It's really a watercolor brush, but it's the only one that I really like what the brush strokes look like, and that's why I continue using it. So I'm going to finish these up, and then move on to constructing and getting the rest of everything put together, starting with the ground floor, because I've already started picking out what I'm going to be using on the ground floor. So, short video today, not incredibly interesting. Here, take a look at my plant. That's a plant I found that got ripped out of another plant accidentally. And then my giant Zebrina, which needs to be going into a pot. And then I had some little babies here that are doing pretty well. This is I call this place the nursery, because all the little plants that I have to pay attention to on a regular basis are right here. And there's where I keep my sketchbooks, my cleaning cloths, the toothpaste I got from the dentist. You don't really need to hear about that. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much, patrons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.